welcome to the Know Your Value Fitness channel. My name is Victoria. I am a certified nutrition coach along with a personal trainer. I've been in the industry of both for over 5 years. So welcome. I'm glad you're taking the time out of your day, to come and view this video. So on today, I am focusing on starting your fitness journey or getting back on track. Now you have made the decision or you're thinking about starting your fitness journey, right? So that's what I really want to focus on today. You guys ready? Let's go. Okay, so number one is when making the decision to start your fitness journey, you have to make the decision for you. Don't make it for anyone else. Because oftentimes people make the decision to lose weight, be for others. And they do it, the whole reason and the motivation behind it is not for yourself. Because oftentimes we do it you might do it out of spite. So you're not really able to achieve what you could achieve if the decision was made based upon you doing it for you. And two, who's to say that once you achieve this, that whoever has been telling you to do it or whoever has been mistreating you or making fun of you is going to change, right? So we're not trying to change their behavior. We're trying to do this for us, for ourselves, because we want to become a better person. Being and getting on your fitness journey is about becoming a better version of yourself, right? So we're supposed to be striving each and every day to become a better version of ourselves. So every single time that I go to exercise, I am becoming a better version of myself. And not even in the aspect of exercising. In the aspect of other things, we are supposed to be becoming a better version of ourselves daily. We're not supposed to become content with where we are, right? And so my number one thing would say, make the decision for you and no one else, period. Okay. Number two, in making the decision to start your fitness journey, stop comparing. Stop comparing yourself to other people, right? Because you were made the way that you are, and they were made the way that they are. That's it. And so when we start comparing our sizes, how we look, our hairs and stuff like that, we in a sense, without knowing, are saying, I don't like the way that you created me. I don't like the way that you created me. And we're supposed to embrace the way that God created us. And embrace the hair that he gave us, embrace the body that he gave us, embrace the eyes that he gave us, the nose that he gave us, the mouth that he gave us, the ears, everything, right? And so just stop comparing. And so I will say that I feel like this is mostly stemmed, and I'm sure you guys might agree, that the comparison comes from social media platforms. So many fitness and nutrition things are put out there nowadays. So we look into the mirror, we see ourselves, but then we get on our phones and we can scroll on TikTok, we can scroll on Facebook, we can scroll on Instagram and so many other platforms. And we can see what everyone else is doing in their fitness journey. And so we start to compare. Oh, well, I don't look like her. Oh, well, I need to start doing what she's doing, or I need to start doing what he is doing. And again, it takes the emphasis out of your journey and it puts it on their journey. So again, your biology is different from my biology. Your genetics is different from my genetics or anyone else. And so we really need to focus on what works for us. What works for us? What works for my schedule? What works for maybe my health concerns? What works for me and my family, type of thing. So stop comparing. I have so many clients come to me, or will be in the middle and they'll say, well, I just saw that this person just lost, or I'll get videos. I just saw that such and such they just look at this video. This girl lost 100 something pounds in 6 months. And if they're in front of me or on the phone, I'll say, okay, what's your point? What's your point? What is your point of sending this to me? Does it motivate you to start your fitness journey? Or are you saying, well, if they can do it, I can do it? You have to decipher between the two. And so again, stop comparing, because this is the thing about social media. All we see is a picture and all we see is a video. We don't know what took place on the other side of the picture or what they had to do to achieve. Okay? And a lot of the times, people can stand in certain stances and certain lights and stuff like that. So it can make them look different than what they actually look. People can suck their stomach in. So, I mean, seriously, stop comparing. Love and embrace who you are. That's really what this fitness journey is about. It's about embracing who you are, loving on yourself, loving your body. But knowing that you love your body, but knowing that I want to become a better version. I want to become a better version of myself. Okay? So stop the comparing, love yourself, embrace it. Okay? Number 3, know that it's going to take more than motivation. This is something that I've learned. A lot of people say, hey, stay motivated. Hey, yeah, stay determined. Stay this, stay that. And that is all fine and dandy. But where does motivation come in on the day where you don't feel like doing anything, or you are just really going through, right? Motivation can go and you say, you know what? Forget motivation. Screw motivation. I don't care. And so you have to dig deeper inside of you to pull out and say, I don't feel like exercising today. And I'm not motivated to exercise today. But however, I'm going to do that because I need to do that, right? In order to stay on track. Now, does this mean that you'll have days where you're just tired, or you're just like, I really don't feel like doing this? Again, on those days, I say, play it out. Listen to your body, because sometimes your body can say, I need rest, right? But other days you have to decipher between, hey, is my body telling me I need rest? Or is my body telling me, or is it just me? Or is it just me? Is my body telling me that I need to rest? Or is it just me and I just don't feel like doing it? And then on those days, you have to push yourself. You have to say, no matter the circumstance, no matter how I'm feeling, I'm going to get out there. And more than likely, 9 times out of 10, you get out there while you're working out and you feel totally different. By the end of your workout, you're just like, yo, I'm so glad I came and worked out. So glad I worked out. But don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. At the end of it, give yourself grace. Don't be hard on yourself. For example, this week I have not worked out. Haven't worked out. I might have went for a walk and ran outside and played with the boys, but I have not. I've stepped foot in my gym to train clients and to try to record some videos, but my personal workouts I have not done. I tried doing it yesterday before my oldest son's game, and it was just a no-go. My 2 younger kids were just doing the most. So that's what I mean. Give yourself grace. Okay. Number 4, come up with a plan. Come up with a plan. How many times have you tried to plan a party, plan an event, plan a meal, whatever, and you don't come up with a plan, and you're just like, okay, you go to the grocery, you're just like, I know what I want to make, but I have no clue now what I need. I should have came up with a list, or I should have came up with a plan. Or, hey, for a party, hey, I need to come up with a plan of how it's going to be played out. So come up with a plan. What is your plan for exercising? What is your plan for meal prepping? What is your plan for staying on track as far as what you're eating and things like that? Hi, Caleb. What are you doing? Okay. Are you staying or are you going back? Are you saying? Okay. So come up with a plan. And so for fitness, we're seeing a professional, a personal trainer. They're able to take in consideration not only your health history, because there might be limitations that you have that we would have to work around. There's certain things that you might not be able to do, but there might be things that you don't have any limitations, right? But come up with a plan. How many days a week are you willing to work out? Hey, I know my kids or have such and such, such and such, such and such on these days, but you know what? I can at least take two times a week to exercise. Boom, awesome. That's all you need. Then you can do upper body one day, lower body the next day, and then focus on getting your steps in and walking on the days that you're not doing upper or lower body, right? And so it's really about coming up with a plan and working with what's wrong, and working with what you have, not stressing yourself out, but coming up with a plan. If you have 3 days, okay, 3 days, upper body, lower body, and then full body. Boom. Nutrition wise, coming up and planning your meals. So planning out what you're going to eat for breakfast, planning out what you're going to have for snack, planning out what you're going to have for lunch, for another snack, for dinner, and then maybe a snack after dinner. So it's really being intentional about having a plan in place. Meal prepping. A lot of people, it does take time. It does. But it's beneficial because a lot of the times people find themselves snacking because they're hungry. Coming in from work, I used to do it all the time. Come in from work, okay, it's time to make dinner. You're trying to get the kids ready to give them baths. Then it's a gap between when you get home and the cooking dinner. So it's like an hour or two gap, and you're just like, yo, I'm so hungry. But in actuality, if I would have meal prepped, then I could have came home. We could have had dinner, right? As soon as we walked in the door, and sat down. And rather than me extending, hey, I'm hungry, and just snacking, hey, we can sit down and have a nutritious meal that will fill me up. And then I can go about my motherly duties after that. So it's really about, again, coming up with a plan. Come up with a plan that works for you. If the plan does not work for you, there's no point in trying to do it, right? So this, again, goes back to being open and honest. Be open and honest with yourself. Be open and honest about what you can do and what you can't do. And when it comes to things that you can't do, just more focus on, okay, I can't do this. However, I'm not going to focus on what I can do. I'm going to focus on what I can do, right? So come up with a plan. And coming up with a plan, let's focus on, I know people love creating goals, right? Coming up with goals. Goals are good. Goals are good. Short-term and long-term goals are good. But I like focusing on behavior. Let's focus on our behaviors, right? Because our behaviors, we can decide to make the decision to start our fitness plan. We can decide to come up with a plan. But if my behaviors that I have are not in line with me starting my fitness journey or getting back on track or the plan that I'm trying to come up with, it's going to all crumble. It's going to crumble. And so when it crumbles, we're going to get upset and we're going to say, you know what? There's no reason for doing this. I'm just going to go back to doing what I was doing, or I'm just not going to do it at all. So let's really focus on the behaviors. Let's not focus on, hey, okay, I understand and I hear that you want to lose 15 pounds, right? Awesome. But what are you going to do in order to achieve and lose those 15 pounds? That's the key. And so focus on your behaviors. What are the behaviors that you're doing that are going to help you achieve working out 2 times a week? What are the behaviors that are going to help you achieve meal prepping? Or what are the behaviors that might hinder you from working out 2 times a week? Now, hey, I just get home and I just don't want to do anything. Okay, I understand that. But what can we do that hey, you know what? Set a timer. Let's, rather than working out in the evening time, hey, you know what? I can work out in the morning time because I have more energy in the morning, and I have more time in the morning before the kids wake up, before my husband wakes up, whatever the case might be. Let me focus on getting up. Boom. Behavior changed, right? Hey, I like to over snack. I like to overindulge. Okay. Well, the behavior is that you like to snack and you like to overindulge. So what can we do to change that behavior? Let's say, I can start taking and measuring out what I'm going to eat out the bag rather than taking the full bag to work with me. Because when I take it to work with me, I'm more inclined to eat the whole bag. You know what? Let's change the behavior. Stop taking the whole bag to work. Let's put some and measure some out and put it inside of a snack bag. Boom. Behavior changed. Rather than focusing on outcome goals, right? Outcome goals, because a lot of the times when you focus on outcome goals, hey, I want to start walking, or I want to lose 60 pounds. Okay. That's the outcome is that you want to lose 60 pounds. The outcome is that you want to walk. But what behaviors are you doing, or are you choosing to do, or are you going to choose to do in order to reach losing 16 pounds? Or what are you going to do in order to reach walking? So we want to focus on the behaviors rather than just focus on the outcomes. Because I've had plenty of clients, plenty of people come to me upset because they say, I want to lose 30 pounds, whatever the case might be, in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year, whatever. And then when it gets here, they're upset because they have not achieved the goal. Right? And so then that's something else that then you would have to try to overcome and get through. Because at that point, you're going to be discouraged. You're going to be upset. You're going to feel as though what you have been doing is not working. All while it could be totally working. And so, again, we go through a lot. We have hormonal changes. Things happen, right? Things happen in life. And so there's things that can happen that sometimes just need our focus, at that season of our lives or at that time. And so again, this goes back to giving yourself grace, but focus more so on the behaviors. You know what? I really have this big project at work to do. And so I'm having to work overtime. But however, rather than me going out to eat or picking up food for dinner, I am just going to take my meals with me. Boom. And so again, focus on behaviors rather than the outcome. And so I'll touch upon this and then I'll move on to the next thing, is that the scale can be our worst friend. I know it's happened to me, especially after having 3 kids. It can be your worst friend. The scale can say that you gain weight, and honestly, it could be hormonal changes that you're going through. It could be a variety of things. It could be hey, you gained some muscle, right? Because muscle weighs more than fat, right? And so you have to take a number of things into account for when you weigh yourself, because it might be, for women, that time of the month, right? And so you just have to be mindful that the number on the scale does not make you who you are, right? It does not define you. If something were to happen, God forbid, to me, I don't want someone at my funeral is going to be talking about my weight, right? The only people that know your weight are the people that you tell. And if you're not telling anybody, then only you know it. Right? So we have to stop letting the number on the scale defeat us and define us, because it doesn't. It's just a number. It doesn't tell you how much body fat you have. It doesn't tell you how much muscle you have. It doesn't tell you any of that. So really, tone back on the scale. Start measuring your success in your fitness journey. A lot of people like to do measurements, their waist, their arms, stuff like that. A lot of people like to do it based upon how they're feeling. That's a good thing. Do you have more energy? Do you have more drive? Are your clothes fitting different? Do you see the changes in your body taking place? Do other people, right? So for your fitness journey, start measuring your achievements and success based upon those type of things rather than a number on the scale that can put you down and defeat you. Okay, number 5. No diets. No diets. I do not like the word diet at all, because diets they come in and then they fade away. They're constantly changing. You can go on Google and look up diets, and you will see a long list of diets. Atkins diets, right? You can see a bunch of different diets that come up. They're constantly changing. And so because they're constantly changing, again, we can't be so set on what everyone else is doing, right? It's a phase. It's a phase right now that everyone is doing Atkins diets, for an example. Or it's a phase that everyone is doing the keto diet. It's a phase. It's a phase that everyone is doing juicing. Like, you know what I mean? So it's different things that go in and out, right? And so we want to focus on what we know to stay the same, what we know in our fitness journey that can definitely help us make progress and changes. And that's focusing on our nutrition, what we're putting into our body, as well as moving, exercising, right? And so no diets. I promote, and I will continue to promote, that it is about a lifestyle change and a mindset change. It's all about your life, your lifestyle. How are you living? How are you changing your mind? Because I would say for me, on my fitness journey from the very beginning, I remember going. I had my first child, my first son, and I was still going to VCU. And so me and 2 of my really good friends decided going to the Cary Street gym, right? And I would go in there. There was this really good class that I really liked. I think it was hip hop cardio. I can't remember. It was hip hop something. Or we would go to the gym and do the machines, whatever the case might be. And I was like, oh, I'm feeling good. But then I would leave and I would go to Casa Grande and have me the Erdos Compodio and the queso dip. And so I had to start learning that, hey, because you exercise does not mean that you can go and just eat anything. So the calories that you were burning while you were in the gym, awesome. But that doesn't mean to go after the gym and to overindulge in calories. Because again, we know fitness and nutrition is based on science, right? So we know that in order to lose body fat and to lose weight, it has to be calories in, has to be accounted for, and calories out. So you can't have the calories in up here, and then you're only putting out this much calories, right? And so that's something that I had to learn. So it's really a mindset change. How are you thinking about food? How do you view food? Is your mind changing to see that it's not just, I just want to lose 20 pounds and that's it, and then I'm done, then I'm going back to eating how I'm eating? Because if so, that's not a lifestyle and that's not a mindset change. The mind, when you are really on your fitness journey and really motivated and determined, and you don't care that someone else is trying to tell you what you need to do, or you don't care what everyone else is doing, you will really start focusing on mindset. For example, rather than seeing food as good and bad, see it as nutritious, more nutritious food, and less nutritious food. That's the way, at least, I like to say it. Because when you start viewing food as good and bad, that changes your whole, that changes your whole perspective of food, right? So then in your mind, you start thinking, well, these are the good foods and these are the bad foods. And I have to stay away from the bad foods because the bad foods are going to make me gain weight. The bad foods are gonna make me do this and make me do that. So I got to stay more towards the good food. When overall, it's more nutritious food, less nutritious food. And you have to come and bring it to a balance, right? So do we want to eat more nutritious food the majority of the time? Yes, absolutely. We want to fuel our body with the nutrients that it needs in order to function properly and in order for us to see the results that we want to see. However, that does not mean that we cannot have foods that are less nutritious. Again, it goes back to calories in and calories out. Now, if we overindulge in foods that are less nutritious the majority of the time, eventually it is going to catch up with us. It goes back to science. There's so many research out here that says, too much sodium is linked to, cardiovascular disease. There's so many foods down that are linked to certain diseases. However, it tells us to limit or to lower those servings, right? And so if you want ice cream, have ice cream. You want cake, have cake. Again, come to a balance. And so it goes back to being in control. You are in control of your fitness journey. I'm not in control of it, even though I might be your personal trainer or your nutrition coach, or whoever that you choose to let help you. You're in control of your fitness journey. So when I see you, or when you go to the gym and you're working out with with a trainer, or you're seeing your nutritionist, right? We can totally give you the plan. Hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, right? But if you're not putting in the work and you're not being mindful of the things that we talk about in our discussions, in our sessions, in our meetings, and that you're just not following them, or you're deciding to make decisions, but also behaviors that are not indicative of the goal of what you're trying to achieve, then you're not going to see the results. You're not going to see them as quick or as soon as you would like to see them sometimes. So it's your choice. This is your journey. And so you just have to take responsibility again for your actions. Be accountable. And say, you know what? I overindulged today on popcorn, on ice cream, whatever the case might be, or I did have too many calories, whatever. But you know what? For the rest of the week, I'm going to be more mindful, and try to stick to the calorie range that I need to be in. Boom. There's no, I got to start over. I got to do this. It's just recognizing that, hey, I overindulged. Because I'm not going to say you made a mistake. Because how you make a mistake eating ice cream? You didn't, right? But being mindful, being conscious, being aware, being in control. That's really what it comes down to. Being in control of your journey. So that goes back to being conscious and being accountable for your actions, for your behaviors, right? And just again, it's a constant journey. Your fitness journey never stops. It constantly goes. Even where I'm at in my journey, it constantly goes, right? And I've been on my journey for the last 8 years? No, I'm sorry, 10 years. Wow. 10 years I've been on my journey. And again, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Because we never become perfect. Because if we become perfect on our journey, there will be no more reason to hit the gym every single day, or to hit the gym the three times a day. And if I was so perfect in the kitchen and stuff like that, right? And so again, it's not perfection. We shoot for progress. We want to just constantly become a better version of ourselves on a daily basis. Okay, on to the next. So no diets, Lifestyle mindset change. Okay. Next, stop setting limits on your journey. Stop setting limits on your journey, right? So this definitely ties back to goals. So setting outcome goals. I want to lose 60 pounds in 100 days or in 6 months. Whatever the case may be, stop putting limits on yourself. I have clients that have come to me, and with working through them, they're just like, I never thought that I would be capable to lift this much weight, or I never thought I would be capable of doing this or looking like this. And so stop putting limits on yourself. Stop. You're a beast. Beast mode. That's what I love to say. Beast mode. You're a beast, right? You are powerful. Okay. You just have to dig down deep inside, and dig out that power, that beast, right? And so don't limit yourself on what you can do. I will tell you that I used to, at the beginning of my journey, I used to go to the gym, and I would used to like look at the people that were lifting weights, and I'd be like, oh, never me. Because I feel like even with working at the gym, you have different people in the gym. And so different people in the gym can create an environment that is mixed. So you have people that you're comfortable with. You're just like, okay, I can work out with you, or I don't mind doing this or that in the gym. But then you have people in the gym that you're just like, they're a muscle head or a gym head. I don't know what you would say, right? But you just don't feel comfortable because you think people are going to look at you, which people do. Having worked in the gym, people do. They do. They're looking at your form. They're looking at this. They're looking at that. And who cares? Go do something with yourself. Okay? I'm over here putting in the work. You need to go do the same rather than looking at me. That's not to say that you should not work on your form and stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying though, be a beast. Do your research. Go on Google and Google up how to correctly squat. If you have a trainer, they should be teaching you. I'm gonna tell you that. But if you don't have one, go and Google it and learn. This is my thing. That's how a lot of people get into fitness. They start doing things and going to the gym and working out on their own, and they put in the work by researching, and looking up, how do I do a squat? How do I do a good form lunge or things like that? And so stop putting limits on your journey, because when you put limits on your journey, you're limiting what you are capable of achieving. And I want, and you should want for yourself, to achieve as much as you can achieve. And so for me, I would love one day to be able to compete in the Ninja Warriors competition. I would love one day to be able to do a bodybuilding competition or a bikini competition. So again, stop putting limits on your journey. If I would have put limits on my journey, I would have never started weightlifting. I would never have gotten into Olympic lifting and things like that. And I would definitely not be looking at trying to train to do competitions or Ninja Warrior type of things. So stop putting limits on yourself. Have fun, okay? Just have fun. And that brings us to my last point. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy it. Enjoy their journey. I have to tell you that when you are hard on yourself, and I'm only talking from experience for myself and as well as dealing with other clients, you look back and you're just like, I should have been enjoying my journey all the while I was being hard on myself. And so this fitness journey is not about perfection. It's about progress. So it's about being a better version than the person that you were when you first started. It's about being a better version of the person that you were 15 days ago or 10 days ago. And it never stops. You're constantly going to be striving on this fitness journey to become better. So even from the stance of losing weight to building muscle, you start seeing results, and it starts becoming like this, like this addictive. Like, oh my goodness, I'm seeing results. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing because I want to see more results. And then those results come, and you're just like, I want to keep going. I want to keep going. I can't stop. I can't stop. And that's what it's been for me. I start seeing results, but I think when I first started my fitness journey, it was more so of, I was kind of in a time period. I was working on my MBA. And so I just quit my job to go to a nursing job, and the nursing job didn't work out. I was like, I cannot do 11 to 7 in the morning. It's too much. And so I quit the job. And so I had time during the day. So I started going to the gym. And so from there, I wasn't really paying attention. Again, at that time, I was really not into working out or trying to get lean or get buff or anything like that. But then one day I was going to pick up my oldest son, and it started with this. A lady looked at me and she was like, yo, your arms look good. They look diesel. And I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so from there, I started becoming more conscious of, oh, yo, my arms do. And then other people start saying it. And I said, oh, this is a whole thing. Yo, I like the compliments that I'm getting, but I also like the way that I'm starting to look and to feel. I want my arms to look like this. I want someone to come at me. I'm just joking. But I like that. And so enjoy the journey. Don't put limits on yourself, because you are so capable of achieving so much. So give yourself grace. Be honest and open with yourself. Be transparent. Allow and embrace others on your journey. And when I say that, I mean, don't let them dictate your journey, but enjoy it, because you'll meet different people on this journey. In the gym, on social media, in the grocery store, you'll meet different people that you might start working out with. They might be a nutritionist or a dietitian, whatever the case might be. And so be open and honest, be transparent. Allow others on your journey, and possibly they might be going through their own journey, and you guys come together to uplift and encourage one another. And again, it's a learning process. None of us know it all. None of us, right? Yes, people have certain credentials, certain education, stuff like that. But again, things are always changing, right? It was a time where you shouldn't eat pork. Now there's research and articles out there saying that eating pork a certain amount of days or times is actually beneficial for you, because of the different nutrients in it can provide your body with the nutrients that it needs. So again, things are constantly changing. Things from what they used to be are not the same. The same thing with coffee. They used to say no caffeine. Now it's research is showing that a certain amount of caffeine is good for you. So things are changing. It's a learning process, and on that learning process, embrace it. You will learn so much. I hope this has helped someone either decide to start your fitness journey or to get back on track on your fitness journey. If you're deciding whichever one it is, congratulations. Put in the work. You are more than enough. You are valued. You are worth putting in the extra effort to achieve what you want to achieve. Remember not to limit yourself. Focus on behavior rather than outcome goals, because outcome goals can kind of create a negative sense when those goals are not reached. But if you focus on the behaviors behind and trying to change your behaviors, you're more than likely going to be able to stick with it. Again, most of all, enjoy it. Okay, there are downs and there are downs and there are ups, highs and lows of the journey. But stick with it. I promise you will not regret it. If I would have stopped on my fitness journey, I would not be where I was today. There were so many times after having my third child, I said, I wanted to say, screw this. I'm not doing this anymore. I hate how I look in the mirror. And 2 years later, here I am. Again, a bunch of things can come up in life that can set you back. But again, keep pushing. Again, it's gonna take more than motivation. You're gonna have to dig inside and bring out the beast. Amen. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you guys have any other questions or would like more information about my consultation or personal training or nutrition services, I would love to speak to you. You can reach me at Victoria@knowyourvaluefitness.com. Again, it's Victoria@knowyourvaluefitness.com. Have a good one, guys. Let's go.